Welcome to Health Coach Impact. My name is Michelle Landry, and this is the show that spotlights health coaches from all over in all different types of niches and experiences and backgrounds. And today we actually have a really interesting interview. We're talking with Michele Szymborski, and she is a health coach that I have actually already interviewed, but you haven't seen it because the wonders of technology has worked its magic, and the interview that we did prior did not turn out. It kept on flipping and such. So, but I wanted to use this as a teaching moment also for all of you new health coaches, that it doesn't matter if things go wrong. Things are going to go wrong. And you just pick up and you just keep moving. And that's life, right? So we learn by our mistakes. We learn by all these different things that happen along the way, and we keep on moving forward. So don't take those obstacles as a stopping point, as a block. Take it as a challenge, and you never know. Maybe it wasn't the right way to go at the very first, and you're being guided a different way. So in this interview, it's going to be new, it's going to be fresh, and Michelle and I, we were talking for a long time after our interview. So this is going to be fun, and I feel like I'm talking with an old friend. And so, Michelle, let's just jump right back into our interview and tell us, where you're from, what really got you into health coaching.
Okay. I'm Michele Szymborski, and I actually live in South Jersey, about 2 blocks from the river. So just a little bit about me real quickly. I'm a music fan, and I love the beaches, and I have a hippie soul. So I like to people, I'm going to talk a lot about health coaching today, but I'm actually a very spiritual person in a lot of ways. So what got me into health coaching was my own health. I actually at one point was 242 pounds. I had type 2 diabetes. I was on 3 meds, headed for insulin, and I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and some complications to my kidneys. And so I engaged a health coach to help me for 2 years. I shed 115 pounds, reversed my type 2 diabetes, which a lot of people don't even know that you can do, but it is possible. Don't listen to whatever they tell you in the medical system. I'm sorry. And I actually got off all my meds for blood sugar, high cholesterol, and blood pressure. After that, I had learned so much, the discoveries that I had along the way, the body's natural ability to heal itself, this whole cultural conformity to dieting and how it doesn't work, that I just felt compelled to share my story. And so I decided I wanted to start with a blog, and that's really where this all started. Is I started with a blog, and for a few years, I was really pouring my heart out and giving people stuff for free. I incorporated a business called Make Healthy Fit, and then decided along that path I was trying to find ways to help women. So I started selling health and wellness products first, just to give me a way to start helping people. And then from there, I went back to school and became a holistic nutrition health coach. So that was about my journey and what got me into it. And now I will tell you, I did jump out of a corporate career. I worked in mainstream healthcare for 30 plus years as a corporate leader. I was the director for patient safety, quality, accreditation, and regulatory management. So I knew all of the hospital regulations and worked with everyone from the board of trustees down to the environmental services workers. So I know the gaps in the healthcare system. I know what's not there, and I understand the importance of the role that I am in now, and all the health coaches that are out there. Don't ever underestimate the need for what you have to offer. So that's kind of my journey. And now that I'm out on my own as an entrepreneur, it's like I tell people, I've transformed my health, and now I've transformed my career.
Right. I mean, that is amazing. And you've really had an insight to both sides of the spectrum,
Yes.
being, in the health industry on that end, seeing exactly what the ins and outs are. And then now being on the holistic side and actually experiencing all of this. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience with your health coach and how that went and how that transpired for you?
Would love to. My health coach was actually a registered dietitian, but she did not act like a dietitian that worked in, I want to say, Western med, where she was very adhering to the government's regulations around food. She was a woman who was very kind and truly spent most of her time with what health coaches do a lot, which is to listen, to really understand that person's unique issues and to keep them lifted, to support them, to give them tips, but also to challenge them as well. So there were times we had some tough conversations together, like when I didn't want to exercise because I thought I was too busy of a corporate woman and I was too sick. At the time, the job I was in, I was managing 20 acute care hospitals from Maine to Florida.
Wow.
I was responsible for big healthcare initiatives like readmission rates and length of stay. And I was gathering, leaders from all these 20 hospitals together and felt responsible for the outcomes. And so I was also in about a 3-hour commute every day to work. So I was busy and I pushed back. But she did challenge me, but she always made things reasonable for me. And, what I learned in that process is that no matter what you're engaging a health coach for, what you end up talking at a health coach is so much more than food. Because as I was shedding 115 pounds, there was a lot of relationships in my life that were changing because I had to make myself a priority. I had to say no to things that I did in the past. I couldn't help people as much because I needed to help me. I made myself a priority. And so I think her and I spent more time talking about my emotions and what I was going through and the times when I would hit weight loss plateaus and I would feel discouraged, and she would remind me of how far I came. So at the end of it, I actually felt that I loved her. 2 years together with somebody, we had created a relationship, and to this day, she still is in my heart. And I wrote a book after I graduated as a health coach, and I couldn't wait to be able to give her an acknowledgement in that book because she truly did change my life.
Yes, health coaches do make a huge impact in that way. And when I know you graduated from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, just like I did, and part of our program there is our primary foods. So that is all of lifestyle, and people don't realize that it's so much more than food. And when they tend to think of a health coach, they tend to think food when that isn't our primary focus at all. So that being said, how have you taken your practice and integrated what you do with what you learned as being a client and now, being a certified health coach?
Right. Okay, great. That's a great question. So the first thing is that I think because I had a health coach who really was very open, is what I want to say. She was very open. She truly listened to me, and she always made me feel good about myself. And even in health coaching school, they really teach us the importance of that relationship and getting people to trust us. And so I really bring her spirit into my practice, right? Because I wanted to replicate that personality, if you so to speak. I won't be her, but I wanted to learn from all of the good things that she did to help me. As far as my experience, I believe that, not just my education with IIN, but my experience, I say that my clients tell me they relate to me because I've climbed the same mountain that they've had to climb. I know what it feels like to go through this. I'm not just here because I have education. I'm here because I get it, and I want you to be successful. And I know the pitfalls. I know, your body is different than mine, and I will help you through that. I'm never going to tell you this is wrong or that is wrong, but I'm going to give you the pros and cons and let you know what my feelings are about it. Because if I'm not authentic, I can't help you. But I think the thing that I've learned the most in my health coaching practice is what I didn't understand when I first graduated from my IN. You know, they teach us, you mentioned primary foods, that, you know, if we don't have healthy relationships, as an example, if we're in a toxic relationship, whether it's abuse or just somebody who's negative all the time, that brings you down, and it, you know, and stress and all those things that create these hormone and brain chemical triggers that make us make bad choices in our life. And so I understood that, you know, we learned mind, body, spirit, and how they're all connected. But until you start coaching, you really don't understand that. And my clients are primarily middle-aged women. And by the time we become middle-aged, you know, we're probably needing to lose more than 5 or 10 pounds. and we've probably gone through a lot of struggles in our life, whether it's divorce or stressful jobs or health conditions aside from the weight loss. And what I find is that I have to help women's mental strength. So what I really do now is I say that, you know, I help women rekindle their inner spirit by empowering them with the mental strength they need to shed weight, conquer type 2 diabetes, and really get relief from significant digestive issues. Because really every woman inside, no matter what age you are, you have the spirit of who you were when you were young. And sometimes we feel trapped in a body that doesn't reflect who we are on the inside. And I understood that. It's like as soon as I lost all my weight and I felt healthier, I wasn't snoring anymore, I didn't have digestive issues anymore, I was a different person, you know. And I'm just going to say this to make people laugh in a way, but, you know, I went a little crazy. I'm like, woo, you know, I'm like young again. I felt young again. And I started going to concerts and I was just like hitting the road. I think I went one year, I traveled all the way from Maine to North Carolina, just, you know, chasing rock bands, you know. And it was a moment in my life where it's like, I just needed to like express the woman that had been inside me. I had loved to dance. And so that's the other thing that I like to do, is to weave the importance of music in health, because music can motivate us. There's a lot of research out there that talks about how you can improve endurance and exercise and all of that. So yeah, I think that I consider myself a spiritual entrepreneur now, because I really think the mental health and the mindset and all of that is so important to anything that we're trying to conquer in our life.
Yeah, you've hit so many amazing points. It's like I could just dive in, but we only have a certain amount of time. And I mean, how just in health coaching in general, I have so many health coaching clients that actually business clients that are like, well, what is my niche? What do I do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And you've basically laid it right out, because you have to take your experiences and what is in your heart and who you can reach, you know, because when you first get started health coaching, you think you want to help everybody, and but I can help everybody, and it's not true. You will find the people, or the people will find you that relate to you. And just like you said, you had to start going out there and doing it and just making it happen in order to be able to have those people come to you. And then it started to craft and create this entity of its own, and you built it into what it is now. And you've incorporated so many different things that we aren't really taught in school per se, but it's part of our life and it's part of who we are. And that's what health coaching is also. It's an expression of who we are and how we can help someone else down that same path that we can see, and we can see the lights at the end of the tunnels, or we can see where their path is going. Although they have a different path, just like you said, we can still be there as that guide or that coach to enable them to come through that dark space that they may have. And I think where you're saying is middle-aged women, because I am a middle-aged woman also, and you're right. There's so many things that we think of when we were younger, and we still feel that way. We still feel like we're in our 20s or early 30s or, whatever. And but our life is so different now. Everything and our bodies respond differently now. So like I said, you've just hit on so many different points that we could just keep on going on and on and on like we did in our conversation before. But let's go on to the next. So how, what good tips that could you give to health coaches that are coming on board, or even health coaches that have been here for a while and are just kind of, milling around going, where do I take this to the next level? How do I incorporate all this? What is it that is really feeding my soul? Because I think that is a real key point that you have, is what's feeding your soul.
Oh, that's a great question for me, because I had to face that actually at the end of last year. Because I think when we graduate from health coaching school, you're right, we don't, even though I knew I lost weight and reversed type 2 diabetes, we're sort of given this template of like, okay, go out and figure your niche out, right? Like they're helping you through that. And so I was really taking on a lot of clients, and I was doing a lot of things. I felt like I needed to do a lot, not just health coaching, but other ways of making money. And I was running, I was selling products, and I was writing a book. And then I had to sit back and really say, what sets my soul on fire? Just like you said, what sets my soul on fire? And I realized the two things that I really needed to focus on this year was exposure, that I couldn't sit behind a computer as much as I was doing anymore. And I think health coaches tend to do that. We're developing our business, creating the website and all of that. But I actually started, I actually have my first event coming up at the end of March, but I decided I was not going to wait for a gym or a massage studio or a yoga studio to tell me whether I could come in and help do a workshop. I just elevated myself, booked myself at a Hilton hotel, and I'm doing half-day workshops now on weight loss. And I'm combining that sort of with a book tour, because what sets my soul on fire is getting up in front of crowds of people and making a difference to the masses. When I was in my other corporate healthcare career, I spoke a lot. So I know that I love to do that. And then the other thing is, because I believe in, you'd have to coach a lot of clients, and if you're accepting payment plans and you're not getting paid in full, you would have to do a whole lot of clients in order to have the income that you need to live a very comfortable life. And so that's one of the reasons that I am in a multi-level network marketing company, because I get the opportunity to offer my clients health and wellness products that are plant-based, instead of, doctors who are prescribing drugs that are putting more toxins in your body and actually creating other problems for you that you may not even realize, or, immediately go into surgery. I'm able to prescribe things for people that are going to help them with weight management, or, getting toxins out of their body, or fixing their digestive health. And I build a team around that. And so it allows me to continue to be a leader, because I get to teach other people and lead. And then I also am able to have another stream of income. And so this year I focused on truly building my team. And I get joy out of that. But I will say one more thing that I did recently that I'm loving now is I built an advisory board for my business. I asked 6 women, all volunteers with different backgrounds, if they would meet with me and my business. And I will tell you, we just met this past week, and it's priceless, because I presented to them my new programs that I was offering. I made some tweaks to them and the pricing and all of that. And they gave me so much valuable feedback, things that I could not see myself. Even my hours of operation and me, creating more boundaries in my practice. And so, I would suggest that, I have somebody who legal counsel, marketing background, accounting background, creative design, educational design. So you bring all those people together, and at first they're a little afraid to give you the feedback. And I'm like, no, like throw it at me. Mm-hmm. So I would say that is a huge tip that most people will never give anybody. Create and people are willing to do it for free.
Right, right. And that's where the power of networking comes in. And as health coaches, we tend to, like you said, we get behind the computer and we try to do everything on our own. Once we're out of school, we kind of become this little bubble in ourselves and we get lost. So creating that advisory board, that is ingenious, because you get all kinds of insight from different people and different backgrounds that are there for your benefit, and you can also reciprocate with what you do with your benefit also, because you're sharing with them what you're offering at the same time. And I love how you're stepping out on your own and making something happen instead of waiting for something to happen. And that's one thing that I had to learn early on as a health coach. Was when I very first started health coaching, I worked for a corporation. So they did everything for me, right? And that was easy for 8 years. But when I stepped out on my own, it was like, oh my gosh, I don't have this big entity behind me helping me along the way with all this, and actually stepping out and talking with other business owners and actually making something happen. But I love how you've taken a step further, is making sure that you have what your programs are and what your message is going out there no matter what, by creating your own workshops in your own space. And I think there's a lot of different places that we could incorporate that it may not cost money to put, to have a hotel, atmosphere, but the concept's the same, right? And it's just a matter of being creative. And I love how you brought that creativity in with it, and you're making it happen. You're just making it happen.
And there's nothing that feels better.
Right, exactly. And then you also have brought in this other element of your network marketing company, and you're more than welcome to say what that network marketing company is. I don't mind. I think that network marketing is a very viable source of income. It's another income that health coaches can utilize to be able to support what they're doing. And we all have to live. We all have to have money coming in. It's the way commerce works. It's the way our society works.
Well, I'll tell you, I've done that. So I am actually a district manager right now with Arbonne International, and they provide plant-based products. And they're like me. They have a holistic mission. They're a green company, no cruelty, animal-free, take no, non-toxic products. So I feel very good about offering them to my patient because they're safe. And, I was in network marketing when I was young, and I sold skincare and all that, and I didn't understand about health. But, this is an integrity issue. You cannot be a health coach and be okay with people using things on their body that's hurting them, right? And so you have to do something that relates to your niche. And I've explained that to some other health coaches recently that I talked to, that whatever, if you're going to do a network marketing, you better offer products that relate to your niche. So if you're helping people with weight loss, you should be having products that help with weight loss, right? Like you don't just get into a company. It has to be something you're passionate about, that you believe in, and that it's going to work to help with your niche market. The other thing that I've done too is I've become an affiliate with Amazon, which, it doesn't pay very well with Amazon. But because I started to sell my book on there, I thought, well, you know what? I even have a link on my website. I'm just giving this tip to other health coaches, right? So not only if somebody comes to my website and goes to the link to buy the book, that's an affiliate link. So I get the affiliate and I get the commission on the book. But I also, with VitaCost is just an online food program, and I order a lot of my non-perishable food. It's different for everybody. But, if I'm going to have people that are going to be buying more organic foods and, maybe gluten-free foods and things like that, I want to make them reasonable for them. Right? And so to me, this is helping them. It's helping both of us. It helps me. It helps them. Right?
Exactly. I didn't realize that VitaCost had an affiliate program. Is that what you're talking about?
It does.
It does. Oh my gosh. I've been sending clients to VitaCost for years, and I didn't realize they had an affiliate program. Hey, I learned something. Yay.
You have to link it. Yes, you have to link it to your web. Well, you don't have to link it to it, but yeah, you can do. Yeah, go ahead and do it, because I'm like, oh my gosh, if I was ordering products for years, Mom, and spending all this money, it's wonderful. Their packaging is awesome. I tell people, the same, maybe, organic nut butter or some kind of nut butter is $3 cheaper than going in my local grocery store. It's ridiculous. Exactly.
And like I said, I've been sending clients there for years. So yeah, definitely going to jump on that affiliate program.
I can't even say the network. It's like RAK something marketing, I can't, but I can send you the link to that as well. And then you just pick your advertisers. So they actually coordinate it for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. See, we're learning so much. I'm so excited.
We all have to help each other.
Right, exactly. And that's what this show is about, is to not only highlight health coaching and highlight what an amazing profession this is and how we can fit in within the healthcare industry, but also help other health coaches in ideas and encouraging them to, take their business one step further, take those income opportunities one step further and really incorporate it, really make sure that you make it your own. And like you said, find a company that, if you decide that network marketing, you do want to do something like that, find a company that fits what you do. And there's a lot of different network marketing companies out there. There's amazing products everywhere. But I think the main thing is finding those relationships that fit within. I think that's the key thing in all of health coaching is you're going to find the relationships with your clients. You're going to find the relationships with the people that you're affiliated with, whether that's networking with other professionals or networking, within a network marketing company or networking just out in, the general market. It's all about relationships at that point.
Absolutely. It's about relationships. You just need to go out and keep meeting people is really what it is. Sitting behind our desk doesn't help. And that's really hard, right? Because we do have a lot of paperwork to do sometimes, but and this is just something, and there's pros and cons. I should say I read online all the time, and I just read an article where people said, don't everybody does all this networking, but networking don't work. It's just people passing business cards, right? And nothing ever really comes out of it. So you're wasting time. But the woman who I listened to, her point was, it's not about not going out and meeting people. It's about creating relationships. It's like, don't go to 100 of them and just be passing out for business cards, because most of those people are never going to become leads, clients, whatever it is. But to really start to establish relationships with people, and that grows into something. And that's a little bit of what I'm doing. Like, I'm actually, like about 3 different networking organizations right now, and some of them are across the bridge. I live in New Jersey and they're in Delaware, and it's really about, like, I want to know what, even if they're in a different network marketing company, I'll say, no, I want to learn about your product, because in a way I'm learning about that. It gives me education either way. Either it's something that I'd say, oh, I'd never give that to my client, or having a respect for it, so that if there was an issue that a client had and I didn't provide that product, I could send them somewhere.
Exactly.
Right? And so
Exactly.
you all become supportive of each other. None of us should be in competition at all. We all should be supporting each other and making referrals when it's appropriate. And I'll just say this, when I started out, because IIN gave us this sort of blanket template, and I was just practicing, some of the people that I was practicing on had diagnoses that wasn't really about weight loss or this and that. And so I started figuring out, well, you know what, that's not something that I really want to work on in the future. So I hear a lot of health coaches going, I don't feel complete. I don't feel like I have enough education. I need to go back to school right now. And I would say, I think growth and development is important. And there's courses I want to take down the road, but more courses. But the point of it is, until you figure out what you like or you don't like, you could be wasting your money. If you sign up to get more education on gut health, and then you realize that you don't mind dealing with the minor issues that come along with weight and all that, but when you have somebody that comes with you with really significant severe IBS or Crohn's or something like that, you have to decide if that's what you want. So don't be taking these courses yet until you figure out where you really want to focus, and get to be the best at that.
Absolutely. I think you have said a great deal there, because we can be on the education train forever. I know I did that for a while, and it was a learning experience, and I took classes and courses from a lot of different things, but like my expertise, my niche is autoimmune, because that is my story, and I take people through that. And so I did go through different courses like that. But at the same time, another thing that I did do, and like you were saying, is learning about people that are maybe in other network marketing companies or in other businesses through networking. And I offered my health coaching services to those people or to their groups. And I could remain completely unbiased, because I wasn't in their downline, or whatever they want to call the people that work with them. I wasn't in there, so I was completely unbiased. Now I am with another network marketing company, but I still reach out to other people in other network marketing companies, because people are really searching for a way to get their health, and they're going to keep searching. So why not talk to people like that? Open up your bubble a little bit and start really finding out what the needs of people are.
Yes. And you have, right. And I have learned to create some boundaries. Like yesterday, I had a call with a gentleman who reached out to me on LinkedIn. I'll just say this. And as soon as he wanted to meet, he said we had things in common. I went and I looked at his profile, and I realized he was in a network marketing company. So I kind of knew what the conversation was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very honest. I said, I've been in these networking groups, and people are, I'm taking a look at what they do. And, I'm going to be, be very open to say that, this isn't a good time in my life. I don't even have time to take a look at it. It's very interesting, but I have to value my time too. So I have to decide how often, which ones I'm going to look at. And then in most of them, and his was very interesting, right? But the point of it is, it's not that I'm saying no. I keep a very open mind. I love what I do, right? Just like I'm sure you love the products that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that if I see something that I can't help somebody, like somebody with an immune disorder. I mean, I just watched a whole series on stem cells, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, right? I couldn't stop watching it. And but I have to create boundaries, because if I keep going off with all these tentacles, I will never keep moving forward in my business and be successful. I have to constantly remind myself. And to me, what a health coach has to do is elevate themselves and say, all the people that you've known, whether they're family, they're friends, all these people that are around you, they know you as a sister, a daughter, a friend. You are now a practitioner, and you are somebody that has information and knowledge and skills that people need. And you need to protect that. You need to make sure that you're elevating yourself because nobody else would, and start creating boundaries in your life, because I struggled with that. You know, that's what my advisory board said, is like, you need to have office hours that are like me, you know, you can't be having people reach out to you at 8 o'clock at night. Like, you just need, and they even suggested that I have 2 different phones, because I don't even have 2 different phones now, but things like that. It's like, just remember how important you are. There are people out there that need you. You are more priceless and invaluable than they even know. It's not until somebody works with you that they get it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think on that note, because we've gone awful long, but I think this conversation has been amazing, and I would love to have another conversation with you at a later time. But I love how you've incorporated everything that you are, and also brought in people to help you set those boundaries, and allowed yourself to bring in other aspects to be able to feed in for your income also, but that stays true to the core of who you are and what you do as a health coach. So I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of this with us. And I think that this discussion was the one that was meant to be for this episode, and not the other one. Although the other one was really good too, but we just went in a lot deeper on our conversation this time. And I know that this is meant for someone or multiple people, and you're going to really inspire a lot of people.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope so. Yes.
So thank you. And for how can anybody get a hold of you, and mention where your workshops are, and what that's going to look like and what it's entailing?
Okay. The easiest way is that my website is my business name, so makehealthyfit.com, and just remember, make healthy fit in your life. And the easiest way to get the tickets to my workshop is that if they go to my website, there's a resources, and there's a link right there that can take you to get the tickets, because as the locations change, that'll be updated, right? So that they don't, you know, because it's going to go different places. So Make Healthy Fit is on Pinterest. It's my website. It's Twitter. So if they just go to my website, they can find me everywhere. Make Healthy Fit.
Perfect. And we'll have all of that in the show notes also on exactly how to get a hold of you, Michelle. Right. So thank you to our listening audience and our viewing audience, however you're coming to this show, on whichever platform you're viewing or listening to it from. I want to thank you for your time, and really listen in and subscribe on, if you're hearing this on iTunes or Stitcher, or on our YouTube channel at Health Coach Impact. That's our YouTube channel. You can find us on Facebook at Health Coach Impact, and you can connect with me, Michelle Landry, at Michelle Landry on LinkedIn, and you know, whatever way that you get us, I really, really thank you. Please subscribe to this channel wherever you're at. And I'm just really looking forward to hearing from some other amazing health coaches, just like Michelle. And just, you know, stay tuned for some other awesome, just as intriguing interviews in the upcoming episodes. So thanks so much, everyone. We'll talk with you in the next episode. Bye-bye.